In January, we did my annual 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program where we looked at one thing you could do each day. Well, we're back with the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. In the chaotic world of 2025 and beyond, compliance will become even more important, and you staying on top of your game will help your company move forward. This entire week on the Compliance Tip of the Day, we're going to look at the 5 COSO Objectives in the 2013 framework for internal controls. First up, number 1, control environment. Both boards of directors and compliance committees oversight are essential to Objective 1 because the committee needs to be actively engaged to be comfortable that the company has implemented internal controls under SOX 404 as required under Principles 1 and 2 of this objective. The external auditors thus then be satisfied this requirement is met. There must be evidence the company has appropriate disclosure controls in place because that is central to the objective. All this is tested against board independence and committee oversight over those activities that management has undertaken and their engagement and conversation with the external auditor. Under Principle 3, structures and reporting lines, authorities and responsibility are essential to the recognition of revenue. Entities' internal controls or financial reporting details are just processes. There are policies, there is documentation, the authority and documentation of these judgments are being made. The review of those and responsibility for making the ultimate judgments about the recognition of revenue and the recognition of timing of revenue rec and the expenses, all of those need to be in place. Under Principle 4, a business must attract and develop, then retain competent talent. Of course, this is good business as well. It is more than simply some appropriate levels of staffing. You must put in place the right team, give the team the right tools, and then ensure they have the ability to access the right level of technical accounting talent and business process and controls talent to make the appropriate levels of judgment. All of this ties into Principle 5, which mandates individuals being held responsible. This requires someone to document that they have made a judgment based upon the evidence and that they have been able to accumulate that evidence, that the company has analyzed the evidence, and that they have been able to accumulate going through the process of comparing this to your framework and the spirit of that standard. Individuals are being held responsible for having done so properly. I think that you can tie all this back together when you get to the control environment. That is the COSO principle number 1 that can be completely tied back to everything else. This retained the core definition of internal controls, and the control environment sets the tone for the implementation and operation of the other components of internal controls. It begins with an ethical commitment by senior management, oversight by those in governance, and a commitment to competent employees. The 5 principles of control environment are today's key takeaways. Number 1, commitment to integrity and ethical values. What are the characteristics that you show? 2, board independence and oversight. This principle requires a company's board of directors establish oversight of the compliance function separate and apart from senior management. 3, structures, reporting lines, authority, and responsibility. Principle number 4, attracting, developing, and retaining competent individuals. And 5, individuals being held accountable. This is the stick principle. Companies must show that it enforces compliance accountability through its compliance structures, authorities, and responsibilities. So this is principle number 1. I hope we use this to start to analyze your compliance. One of the things that I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip. Either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced with the assistance of AI.